Hello, everybody. Welcome to the webinar. Excited to be with you this evening. My name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy, coming to you from my home office in beautiful San Diego, California. And I'm excited to be with you tonight. Tonight's topic is getting started right with Teamzy to become a Power Hour boss. And that's exactly what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to show you how easy it is to set Teamzy up. Okay, so maybe you're brand new, you haven't done it yet. It's super easy. Maybe you've kind of done it and wondered if you did it right. So we'll take you through that process. Then I'll show you, once you've got it set up, how to do a power hour. I'm going to teach you the best workflows, how to get all your income producing activities done in less than 1 hour a day, probably 30 minutes. Okay, so you can be incredibly focused and efficient with your time, which is why we're in this business, isn't it? So that we can have more time, more freedom, more flexibility. And so if you can do the activities that help you build this business quickly and efficiently, you get to go enjoy your life, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in. I've got, let's see here. Here we go. All right, so here's our topic: get started right with Teamzy and become a Power Hour boss. Okay, just to give you some background on me, for those of you who haven't met me before, as I said, my name's Eric Johnson. My background is actually not in direct sales or network marketing. My background is in business coaching and consulting. I've been a professional consultant. This is my 20th year. Crazy. And what I've specialized in is helping people build a business based on relationships. I fell into the direct sales industry 5 years ago by accident. Honestly, I just found some products that really helped me personally. And I was excited about them. And it was my wife who told me, you know, honey, go out and become a distributor because you're already referring and recommending these products to everybody. And just to kind of give you guys an idea of where I was 5 years ago, I was working in my corporate career still, building somebody else's empire. And I was always working. I mean, I loved my work. I loved my job. I loved the people I served, but I was constantly working. And I never saw these beautiful people. Here's a shot of my family here, my 4 kids and my beautiful wife, Lisa, and my girlfriend, Ev. She's the 4-legged one. I felt like I never saw these people. Honestly, I'd get up in the morning, put on my kids would be in their pajamas. I'd kiss them goodbye and go to work. And when I came home in the evening, they were in pajamas again, getting ready for bed. I was just missing out on my whole family, and I wanted something different in my life. I felt like I just needed to grow something else so I could have some more time with my family and really enjoy kind of the purpose of life. And so I took a look at the network marketing opportunity as a side hustle. Originally, I just wanted to make $500 a month extra money, just to give us a little breathing space in our business, in our lives. And I started looking at it and I thought, I really feel like I could do this. I could be successful at this. I've been helping other people build businesses for years and years and years. I was like, I could do this. The challenge that I had was I just didn't have time. I mean, when am I going to do it? I don't have time as it is. And so I really got focused and I looked at my calendar and I said, if I could devote 1 hour per day to building this business, I could do it. And I could do that for a while. And then maybe at some point I could leave my corporate career and full-time do this business. So I started looking at what I could use, what tools were out there that I could leverage so that I could get everything done in an hour. And I started looking for, these were the things I knew I needed to get done in my hour. I wanted a way to stay in touch with all of my contacts, everybody, just to stay in regular contact with them. I didn't want to have to think about it though. I wanted something that just helped me do it, right? Just, Eric, go after it. Touch these people today. I wanted to know when I was going to contact them, when I wasn't going to contact them. Because, you could spend hours planning just to be effective for 1 hour. And so I wanted to find something that would automate that for me. I also needed help with what to say to people. I would stare at my screen trying to think of, oh my gosh, what is the perfect thing to say to these people so that I could start a conversation? How do I do this? How do I go about it? I also needed a system that would allow me to follow up seamlessly so that nobody ever falls through the cracks. And so these were the things I was looking for. I figured it wouldn't be that hard to find. There's literally millions of people doing direct sales. There's got to be some great platforms out there that are easy to use. That was the other thing I needed. Had to be easy to use. I can't do complicated. I just don't do it. It has to be easy. And so as I went looking in search of something, here's what I found. There wasn't anything. There was nothing. So, I'm a kind of a problem solving type person. I found some people who were smarter than me, put together a team, and we built Teamzy. That's kind of the story of how Teamzy came to be, because I couldn't believe it didn't exist. And so just to kind of give you some background on Teamzy, and before I dive in and show you how to use it, Teamzy's been out, what is it, April? So we've been out 4 years and a quarter, 4.25 years. In just 4 years, we've served more than 100,000 network marketers. I look at that number and it blows me away. It's humbling, honestly, because Teamzy has spread through people loving it. It's spread through people loving it, people just sharing it. Probably all of you guys are here because somebody you know said, check out Teamzy. And God bless those people, and bless you guys if you're sharing it with your teams too. Just to give you an idea of results, active users in Teamzy are averaging 21 customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. They're averaging this. People using Teamzy actively, they're averaging 21 customers new added to the business and 9 new recruits over 90 days. Okay. And we always track over 90 days because building relationships takes it's a little bit of a cycle, right? In fact, in my 20 years of coaching people, when people say business is slow, I look at their calendar 90 days ago and say, well, what were you doing 90 days ago? Because we can always point to that. Kind of what you did 90 days ago is what you're harvesting today. All right, so let's dive into this. Oh, action steps. No, we're not doing those till the end. All right, let's get into Teamzy. Here we go. Here we are. So when you first log into Teamzy, here's what I want you guys to know first off. We give you a 30-day free trial of Teamzy. So if you're not already using Teamzy, go to teamzy.com and start a 30-day free trial. We won't ask for your credit card information or anything weird, honestly. We just want you to use it, have full access to it, fall in love with it, okay? Our goal is that we'll be part of your business forever, right? Helping you to be successful, part of your success story. So go and use it for 30 days. Once you get to teamzy.com, you'll see there's a drop down. We've got, I don't know, 80 or 90 custom versions of Teamzy, okay? If you see your custom version for your network, choose it. Otherwise, just use what's called Teamzy Standard. That's what I'm demonstrating tonight. It's kind of our generic version. You could use it for anything. So if you don't see a custom version, use the Teamzy Standard. When you've logged into your first time into your free trial, it's going to bring you into the setup wizard. That's what we're looking at on the screen right now. The setup wizard is designed to make this easy, right? Easy enough for me to do, which means you could do it too. Okay. We'll skip this video from that guy. The first thing I want you to focus on in the setup wizard is setting an income goal. Setting an income goal. How much money would you like to earn a year from now? So in 12 months, over 12 months, how much money would you like to earn? You just set the goal by sliding this little slider up, right? I mean, maybe your goal is 500. That might not be an appropriate 1-year goal, and if you're brand new, but maybe if you've been in this a while. So what's your goal? How much do you want to make this first year? So I'm going to put in here my goal, which was actually 150. Okay, so 150,000. Great. Now you'll notice that as I slid that, it changes the numbers in these circles. These are the amount of connects we need to do each day over a year to hit the goal. Okay, so for example, at $150,000 a year, my daily goal is to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 of the distributors on my team. Easy, right? Honestly, I'm going to show you that's like 15 or 20 minutes of work in Teamzy. Okay, but here's the thing. When I'm talking about connecting with people, I am not talking about some cheesy sales script, some check out my website, or trying to send somebody a video from corporate. I am literally talking about connecting with somebody just to make their day. Okay, so I want you guys to kind of think about things from the make somebody's day mindset, and you'll get much better results. We'll talk about that a little more as we go. So let's continue. Once you have that set, you go to the next page here. And the next thing we'll do is we'll get all our contacts imported into Teamzy. Okay, so you're going to want to import your back office first, your team. First people you want to put in Teamzy is your team. If you've got a large team, you can import it in bulk. There's little videos here that can help you with that. Then you want to get all your customers imported into Teamzy. Okay. Then the next step would be, I would probably bring in my Facebook friends, or any other contacts that you have, any other contact lists, you can bring them in. If you guys are big Instagrammers, bring in your Instagram followers. There's tutorials on every type of import in Teamzy, and they're pretty easy, okay? So you're gonna get everybody into Teamzy. Now this is important because you wanna have all your contacts in one place. No more sticky notes or pads of paper you can't find or notebooks, goodness knows where you left them. Forget that. Scrolling through your phone, trying to remember who you need to message. Get them all in Teamzy so that you're organized. And something magical will happen, by the way, once they're all into Teamzy. And I'm going to show you that in a second. Teamzy has a special algorithm for presenting people to you each day. It makes sure that nobody falls through the cracks. Once you've got people in Teamzy, all you have to do is use Teamzy, and you'll know that nobody can ever fall through the cracks. I know, it's powerful. Okay, let's get this sucker launched. So here's my dashboard in Teamzy. You guys are now seeing it. It's set up with the goals we just set and set up: 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 distributors. This area, today's activities, these are my daily targets, okay? If you wanna build your business big, how many of you guys wanna build your business big? If you wanna build your business big, you gotta get your focus small. Okay, let me just say it again in case you're taking notes. If you want your business to be big, you have to make your focus small. And the only day you have control over is today. So Teamzy is based on this concept. Okay, great, Eric, you wanna make 150 grand a year. Perfect. Today, do this. Okay, just do this today. Our focus is on today. Okay, so you can see I've got zeros here because I haven't done any work. So as I'm doing the work in Teamzy, those numbers will change. It'll give me a little visual cue that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm going to connect with prospects, customers, and distributors, again, based on my income goal. And my goal is just to make somebody stay. Especially right now, oh my gosh, we're on lockdown, coronavirus. Especially right now, we just want to make people's day. Okay, now the next goal here is shares. This is my goal, is to share. This is sharing my business opportunity or sharing my products. It's really simple. People are like, well, what about this? What about that? No, that's what a share is. It's when you share your business opportunity or you share your product with somebody. My goal is to do that 3 times a day. So I'm not sharing with every single person I talk to because most people aren't interested in that right now. Make sense? But I want to do it 3 times a day out of, what is this, 19 connects that I'm going to do. And I've also got a goal to add new people to Teamzy, right? So you always want to be adding new people to Teamzy. What's your goal? Meet new people, put them in there. People you haven't thought of, put them in there. Once they're in Teamzy, now you can systematically and intentionally build a relationship with them. Okay, and that's what this is about. This is about systemizing your care so you can build authentic relationships, guys, and have a business that's fun. Okay, so let me show you how to do this. The next piece I want to show you on the dashboard is the Power Hour module. See this area right here? Power Hour module. There's 2 pieces to this. The first half are your up next lists. Very simple. We call it the who's up next. Okay. You've got 4 lists: prospects, customers, distributors, and your follow-ups list. Okay. So those 4 lists tell you who's due for a connect. Okay. So you don't have to think or plan. And then on the right-hand side, you log that message as you send it so that it's tracked. Okay. Do it as you go so that it's tracked. That way Teamzy will know when to bring them back up for you again. You don't have to worry about it. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I know, it's so cool. All right, so let's dive in. Now, a couple things I want to show you real quick on this right before I show you how to do the Power Hour. You'll notice that next to each person's name is a number, right? And that number represents their star rank, how many stars they are. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to my team page just to show you this. The left side of my nav. See where it says team? That's your whole contact list. Don't be confused by the word team, because when you're building relationships, everyone's your team. They're either your advocates, your customers, your prospects. They're all your team. They're all part of team, right? My business, I used to call my business Team Johnson. When you were my customer, you were part of Team Johnson. Does it make sense? So look, that's your team. Okay, so on this, so Teamzy is a full contact manager, which means I've got everybody here. If I click on somebody, I get their full contact information on the right? Any notes I have about them are here. All of my conversations are logged, okay? Everything's there. But I also want you to see these star ratings. Do you see how this works? If I click on somebody, it shows how many stars they are. This is how we prioritize relationships in Teamzy. So when you first set up, I want you to go through your list and assign a star rank to people. Now, everyone's going to come in defaulted as a 3-star. So don't worry, you don't really have to do everybody. Maybe 10% of your list you will change, maybe 20%. Okay? But you change somebody's star rank just by clicking on it, and it's saved and done, ready to go. Super easy. In fact, you can actually toggle a mode here, rank mode, so that you can do the whole list at one go. Okay? Super easy. Now let me kind of explain what these ranks mean. A 5-star is somebody that's going to come up on your list first. These are people who are, the people you think are most likely to be interested or join your team. These are your best friends, your closest family, the hottest people on your list. They're going to come up first. The people who trust you the most. Another way to think of the stars is it's how much trust you built with that person. So 5-star people will come up first, and They automatically cycle back every 30 days. You don't have to set follow-ups and try to remember to stay in touch. Teamzy will keep them in front of you every 30 days. They come back to the top of your list, okay? 4-star people are the people who, maybe with a little bit of nurturing, you feel like would be a good lead for the business, or their friends and family, maybe not your closest folks, right? They're going to come up next. After the 5-star people, then your 4-star people will cycle in. And then they come back after you've connected with them. They come back 60 days later, automatically, 60 days. So 5 stars, 30 days, 4 stars, 60 days. Guess what 3 stars are? 3 stars, most of your list will be 3 stars, and they're the people you're not really sure of. Maybe you barely know them. They're just people that are going to come in and you're going to connect and you're trying to build a relationship with them over time. And they're going to come back every 90 days. So 4 times a year, you'll be in touch with them. They can't fall through the cracks. They can't go longer than 90 days before they come back. Okay. And then 2-star people, 120 days. Does this make sense? So the stars help you prioritize the list, or it helps Teamzy prioritize the list automatically for you. You set this up once, you never have to think about it again. You just log into Teamzy each day and it tells you, hey, here's who's up next today. Here's who you're going to connect with, okay? And the key is just getting here consistently and using it. And as this list cycles, just consistently reaching out and connecting people, building those relationships, okay? Make sense? All right, so let's actually do it. Let me get this started here. So let's do our power hour. Pretend I just woke up, or whenever you do it during the day. I logged into Teamzy. Teamzy says, Eric, the first person on your prospects list is J Lisa Swain. Send her a message. Great. Okay. No problem. Now, how do you message people? I like to message people on Facebook Messenger. You can text them. You can Instagram direct message them. However you want to message people is fine. You can log it all in Teamzy. Now, I'm going to use Facebook Messenger as my demonstration because that's where I talk to most people, because the response rate just happens to be really great on Facebook Messenger. So look, Jay comes up. I'm going to go message her. I've got Facebook open right here in a separate tab, ready to message her. Now, here's where I used to get stuck. What do I say? How do I start this conversation without coming across salesy and cheesy and turning her off? Right? And again, it took me a while to figure this out. How to just send a quick message that will just make somebody's day. Get a smile. That's all I care about right now. So what I did was, after I got pretty good at this myself, and everybody kept asking me the same question, I built a scripts library into Teamzy for you. So right here in the Connect box on Jay's profile here, I'm going to click on scripts. That opens up the scripts library, and I can pick a script based on what I'm going to send. I'm going to choose a Facebook script. And then you've got some scripts to choose from. By the way, this is pretty cool. You can put your own scripts in here too and save them so they're at your fingertips when you want to use them. Okay? And if you guys have more questions on that, when we get to Q&A at the end, feel free to ask me about that, because it's a cool feature. You can put your own scripts in here. It's very, very effective and efficient, especially for saving emails that you send to people. You save them as scripts so they're always written for you. Oh, it's so cool. Okay, so look, here's the first script on the list, Connect number 1. I'm going to use this one. Here's how it reads in case you're on a small screen. It says, hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day's awesome. Super simple. Look, so you just click on copy script and it's copied to your clipboard. All right, so what I'm going to do is paste that in here and then change the name. Okay, make sure you get the right name. If you're into emojis in your messages, which I am, do an emoji. Okay, maybe 2. Okay, great. So I got the emojis in there. Perfect. So now I've got this just the way I want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy it and go send it to her in Facebook. So, or however you want to send it. I've got Facebook open, so I'm just going to look her up. Okay. There she is. Okay, great. So we're going to message her. You just paste that message in and send it. Okay, sent, super easy. Toggle back and log it in Teamzy by selecting what type of activity it was. That was a Facebook message, and clicking on the big blue log connect button. Okay, so when I click that, it's logged. Now notice what happened. Jay is off the list and the list has slid up 1 step. Now, if I go up here to the top, you can see I've got 1 done, 8 left, and this little circle starting to fill in. Okay, so when I go to Tessa, who's the next person on my list, I'm going to use that same script just to save time. It's easy, why not? And just change the name. So it was already in my clipboard. I just pasted it again. There it is. Now it's ready to go. So I'll do the same thing. I'll toggle over to Facebook or however I want to message her, send the message to Tessa, and then come back and log it in Teamzy. Facebook message, log connect, 2 done, 7 left. Next one's Melody. Same thing, guys. Just paste it in. There's no reason to change the script when you're just saying hello. Okay. So I'm going to come in here and do the same thing, copy it, send it, log it. Do you see how quick you can be at this? Yeah. So now I'm jamming, so there's 3. So I didn't send the messages on Facebook. I want you guys to know, like just assume that I did. Okay. Cause I just didn't want to, some of those people were fictitious. They're just here for me to demo with. So you can see I've got 3 done. See how this circle's filling in? So I'm going to work down my list and just send this outgoing make someone's day message depending on my goal. Now my goal was 9 prospects. So I'm going to send that message 9 times and this circle will go all the way blue. And that's a visual cue. Hey, guess what? You're done with prospects for today. Go to the next list, which is customers. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing with customers. Okay. If you want to use my scripts, go to scripts. Teamzy's already moved over to customer scripts. It's because it's intelligent that way. So now I've got some great customer scripts, right? Something like, Jane, you're doing so great. I'm proud of you. Congratulations on, right? Do I have anybody here who helps people lose weight? Would it be cool to congratulate somebody on some pounds lost, right? Is that better than even talking about your product? Obviously, it's implied. Anybody here that does skincare? Anybody that does skincare or beauty? Would it be great to tell somebody they're doing great with that? I mean, you get the idea, right? You're doing so great. I'm proud of you. Oh my gosh. One of the best ways to treat customers is with gratitude and praise. That's a whole nother training, but you guys can just bank that. Okay. Here's another one I love. Here's, hi, John. How are you enjoying the products? Please send me an update. Let me know how it can be of help. Obviously, don't leave products in there. Put the actual name of the product they're using in there. How are you enjoying it? Send me an update. This is a great way to either get confirmation that they love the product or to uncover any objections they might have or questions they might have. Send me an update. That lets you coach them through it. Make sense? Or my favorite one for a customer is this one. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. I mean, seriously, try that one with some of your favorite people. It's awesome. So just the same way, you copy the script, you paste it in there. Okay. You change the name to the correct name. I do the pasting. This is an extra step, putting it in Teamzy first, but this helps me correct it so that I don't send it with the wrong name in Facebook or whatever, which I have done lots of times, right? But my arms and legs didn't fall off and the relationship was fine, but it's easier if you don't do that. So now I've got it the way I want it. Again, I'll copy it. I'll toggle over to Facebook. I'll look up Raven. Okay. We'll look up Raven and then we will send her the message and then log it in Teamzy. Okay, so we log our messages with our customers the same way as we do prospects. Okay, and when I log that, you can see she's gone. The list moved up the same way. Now I've got a pink circle filling in. Now, really quick on this. Sorry, a little dry here. Really quick on this. I want to talk to you real quick about connecting with customers. Okay, because connecting with customers is as important as connecting with prospects. Okay, how many of you have been doing this a few years and you've got a decent list of people who are either current or past customers? So you guys have a gold mine. Okay, you have a gold mine because these are people who have said, I trust you enough to actually buy your product from you. Okay, even somebody who is canceled, I'm smacking my microphone around here, even somebody who is canceled is better than a new prospect because they've already trusted you and bought something. I just want you guys to understand something. Connecting with customers is a key component to this business. And if you are in regular contact with your customers, present and past, because for me, they're for life, they will order more product and they will retain longer. Okay, let me just say it again. If you're in touch with customers, present or past, they will order more product and they will retain longer. Staying in touch with past customers helps them to come back periodically. People come in and out of our products, don't they? They cancel and they come back, they cancel and they come back. So many people in our business think canceling means they're not interested. It just usually means they have inventory that they need to use up, right? Let me see hands for every one of you who is in the health industry, helping people to be healthy right now. Let me see your hands. Raise the little hand button. Let me just add, oh my gosh, it's like everybody on the call almost. Most of you. Do you think people who are past customers are thinking about your product right now with everything that's going on in the world, with this whole crazy virus pandemic? Don't you think they're thinking, maybe I should get that product again? It's just a thought. If it was me, I would be reaching out to those people, not to sell them products, but check in on them, see how they're doing, make sure they're okay. Okay. Make sure they're okay. You'll be surprised how many will say, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about you. I need to get back on the product. Okay. The rest of you, the ones of you who didn't raise your hand, whatever industry you might be in, do you think it's convenient for people to get things automatically shipped to their homes that they need? It's hugely convenient. I mean, I was talking the other day about, I almost wish I could get every single thing we use in the home from a network marketing company right now, so I don't have to worry about shopping. Seriously. If you could build a multi-level marketing company right now that deals in toilet paper, think how fast you could grow the network. Toilet paper delivered to your home every month. Seriously, one of you is probably going to set that up. Okay. Stay in touch with your customers. They order more product, they retain longer. It's a statistical fact. Okay. Teamzy makes it easy. You don't have to create some complicated system. When they come up, send them a message. That's it. Okay. And the other piece I want you guys to know is this: how many of you would like some new customers? Like, you're on the hunt for some good ones. You've got some that you love and you want some more. Yeah. So where are you going to find those people? Where do you go find new customers? There is one place to get them. The best place to get new customers, that there's nothing better than this, is to get new customers from current customers. Okay. Getting introduced to the people that your current customers know. Because think about it, your customers who love the products, they're talking about them. I guarantee you they're talking about them. Every human being is wired this way. Oh my gosh, this is great. I'm losing weight, or this is happening. They're telling people about what they're doing. And I don't know if you guys know this statistic, but 86% of people say they make their purchasing decisions based on the recommendation of a friend. So your customers are telling their friends about you and your business. Maybe not about you, it depends on if you're doing it, but they're talking about the products. And those people are likely to make that purchasing decision based on that friend's recommendation. So are you getting introduced to those people is the question. Or are they having to Google your product and getting it from however they can? So you need to be in touch with your customers. Just follow me on this. Be in touch with your customers on a regular basis so you can ask them to introduce you to the people they're talking to. Okay. If you haven't talked to me in 3 years, don't message me and say, hey, can you introduce me to your friends so I could sell them my product? I'm going to be like, who are you? But if you're in regular contact with me, it's going to be a no-brainer. I'm going to want to. Does it make sense? All right. Let me get back to Teamzy. I get off on these little sermons. All right. So prospects, customers, we're going to go down our list and message our customers. Look, Teamzy will just tell you how many a day. In my case, it was 6. I'm going to message 6 customers a day. Great. When I'm done messaging customers, this will be pink, and I'll go to distributors. This is my team. Okay. And again, if you don't have a big team, you'll be done with this quickly. If you have a huge team, this will help you manage it. But you just want to reach out to people the same way on your team. Just let them know you're thinking of them. If reaching out, sending them a resource, sharing a book title, whatever, just connecting with your team. Listen hard, you leaders. I know there's some leaders on this call. Having a Facebook group and doing Zoom calls is great. Those are good ideas, but your team needs to hear from you personally. You are the glue that holds the team together. And I hear so many people complaining, this is such turnover in this business. It's turnover. Look, I will tell you what makes people stick: relationship. People stick for the relationship. How many of you guys are just in love with your team and the culture of your company? Like, you just love being around those people. Some of you are probably really sad that we're not having conventions right now, right? Because you look so forward to getting around the community. I know, I was scheduled at 2 conventions this month, both canceled. I'm bummed too, because I was looking forward to getting plugged in to 2 great communities of people. The relationship is what cements people to your team. So team leaders, listen up. You got to stay in touch with your distributors. Just one-on-one, sending them a text, a message, letting them know that you're there every once in a while. Just let Teamzy bring them in front of you, and you just stay in touch. It will set you apart, and it will also change the culture of your team. By the way, that's why we call it Teamzy. Right? Because you have to build the team before you can build the business that changes your life. All right. So the first half of our power hour is connecting with prospects, customers, and distributors. Just sending out little make somebody's day messages. It doesn't take long to do this. Look, 19 messages. Let's say you're slow and it takes you 30 minutes. You're halfway through your power hour and you've now got 19 of these messages sent. Now, little pro tip: some people will start responding right away. You don't need to run off and have the conversation yet. Get your power hour done first, and then you can go have those conversations, right? Even better, I would set aside an extra 30 minutes to an hour somewhere else in your day to just answer messages, right? So your power hour like instigates the conversation, and then later on you can actually have the conversations when you have another minute. The second half of the power hour is the follow-ups list. See right here, the fourth list. Now, when I get here, you'll see mine's empty. There's nobody on the follow-ups list automatically. We put people on this list after they've shown interest and we've shared. Okay. And again, a little refresher from the beginning of the call. A share is when I share my business or my products with somebody. Okay. So once I've had a conversation, I start by making somebody's day. They respond with a thank you. And now I've got a chance to have a conversation with them. And so you're going to do your best to have a good conversation. Some of them will fizzle out. It's fine because they're going to come back on Teamzy in a couple months, right? But as you're trying to have conversations and engage, just, how are things going? I mean, right now, people are so hungry for connection with people. It's a perfect time to reach out and connect and make people's day because they say, thanks for checking in. Well, tell me what's going on with you guys. Are you hunkering down? Maybe share some resources. If they've got small children at home who aren't going to school and you found some great resources for small kids, share that with them. Okay. If you're talking to adults, you can talk, just try to find things that can help them, right? People are always asking me like, what are you watching? Any good books? What good books are you reading? Or what are you guys watching on Netflix? Or, these are just conversations you're going to have with people. And as you're talking to people, you're going to share with them. You're going to get their update, find out what's going on in their life. And then you're going to give them your update and you're going to share what you're up to and you're going to tell them about your business. Okay. This approach, this relationship-based approach of telling people about your business makes it very non-threatening, right? And it makes it very interesting to people. Okay. But you want to tell them about your business. You want to tell them what you're doing and why you're so passionate about it. And you should make that kind of a goal as you're having good conversations to make sure that part of the update isn't just what the dog's doing, what the kids are doing, what your spouse is doing, but that I've started my own business. This is what I do. And this is why I'm so passionate about it. You need to let people know that. And listen, when you share with people why, what you're doing and why you're passionate about it, almost always people respond with, wow, that's good. Good for you. Good for you. I'm proud of you. And when your approach is just, hey, I haven't talked to you in 2 years, but would you look at this link and watch this video? And I'd love you to join my business. That's not the response you get, right? You're not getting the wow, good for you response. You're getting the unfriended response. Another one. So you want to just share people what you're doing and why you're passionate about it. What's the mission you're on so they can just be proud of you, okay? This makes it so easy to share the business because you can just say something like, hey, let me know if you'd like to learn more about what I'm doing. I'd be happy to share more info with you. Okay, super easy. They'll say, okay. If you come across anybody who might need help in this area, what's the problem you solve? If you come across anybody who might need help in this area, would you connect us? I want to help as many people as I can. Or even if you'd like more info, let me know and I'd be happy to get you some. And then as you uncover people who are interested in more info, guys, I'm going to show you how to get them on this follow-ups list. Okay. So let me just give you an example. I know I'm trying to squeeze a lot of training into this little bit of time, but I want to give you context of how you should be building this in a relationship-based and focused way. So as I'm talking to my friend Jay, I message her, how are you doing? How's everything going? She's responding. Now we're having a conversation. Well, update me, what's been going on? Are you guys okay? Do you have income coming in? What's going, is there anything I can do for you guys? And start having a conversation. And she's like, well, what about you? How are you doing? And I'm going to tell her. And I'm going to tell her what I do and why I'm passionate about it. I'm going to ask her if she'd like to learn more about it. Let's say she says yes. Yeah, I am interested in that. Honestly, I need some sort of home-based business right now. I'm sitting at home. We have no income coming in. It would be a great timing for me. Perfect. Well, listen, Jay, here's what we should do. Why don't we jump on a Zoom together or a FaceTime or whatever? And for 15 minutes, let me ask you a few questions, see what goals you might have and see if it's something I can help with. She says, that's great. So how am I going to do this in Teams, you guys? This is just an example. Let's say now I've had a FaceTime or a Zoom with Jay. How am I going to log this in Teamzy and move it to a share in Teamzy? Let me show you. So first off, Jay's not on my dashboard anymore, so I got to get to her contact record. So I'm going to use this lookup bar to look her up, okay? And that's going to jump me to her contact record. Here it is. So I'm now on this Zoom call with Jay, talking to her, getting her goals, and I'm sharing my business opportunity with her. How do I log it in Teamzy? So first thing I did was I opened this connect box, so it looks just like the dashboard, right? And then what type of communication was it? I'm going to put video chat. Okay, great. And then here I'm going to just log my notes from our chat, and See this little box here on the bottom left where it says share? I'm going to click that because on this chat, I shared the business opportunity with her. So now it's gone from just a connect to, hey, Jay, how's everything? To, wow, I shared my business opportunity. So I want to log that. So when I click on that, it immediately activates the follow-up list. See that little calendar right there? It added that follow-up for 2 days from now. Now I can click on that and customize it to any date I want. Just defaults to 2. So I'm going to set it for tomorrow. Okay. So now I'm logging that we had a video chat in my notes. I've put that it was a share of a business opportunity, and I've set a follow-up for tomorrow, and now I can log it in Teamzy. Okay. Now check this out. Let me go to the dashboard and show you what happened. First off, it logged a share. My goal is to do that 3 times a day. 3, yes, I got 1 done, perfect. Also, on my follow-ups list, now I have somebody there. Jay is there, and her follow-up is due tomorrow. Okay. I can't mess this up. Now, here's what happens. Tomorrow when I do my power hour, I connect with my prospects, whoever's up next, my customers, whoever's up next, my team, whoever's up next, and then I go to follow-ups to see if any are due. When they're due, you'll have a little notification here that shows how many are due today. So when she's due, I'm going to now send a follow-up message to Jay. And this is super easy. Let me just show you how to do it. It's just like sending a regular connect, but now it's got a different purpose. You're following up as a professional on interest, on a share. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go to my scripts to get a follow-up script. Yes, just so you guys know, I put 10 follow-up scripts in Teamzy, numbered in order. You just follow up in order. Okay. So let me get one to show you how easy this is. So go to the ones that say follow-up. Here we go. Follow-up 1. It reads like this. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Okay. So we're going to click copy script and paste it in here. Okay. Change the name. Put in your emojis. You don't have to do emojis. That's optional. I like emojis. Okay. So you've got everything ready to go. Now we're going to copy that. We're going to toggle over to her. We're going to look her up. Okay. We're going to find her. There she is. We're going to message her. Paste that in. Send. Super quick and easy. Now we're going to log it in Teamzy. Now pay attention. This is important. When I log a follow-up, I set a new follow-up. So click on follow-up. See what I did right there? See it says follow-up? Click on it and set a new one. So let's say I'll follow up again in 2 days. Always set a new follow-up. She needs to stay on this follow-ups list. Now that she's shown interest and I've shared with her, she's on this follow-ups list forever, or until she joins my team or buys. Okay. The only way off is for her to convert. Look, now something else you can do is you can leave yourself a note so that when I have a full list of follow-ups, I know what it's for. The next follow-up is going to be follow-up number 2. I'm just going to leave myself a note. So look, when I log this, now she's back on my follow-ups list due Saturday. Okay. Cool. Do you guys see how easy that is? It's so easy to keep track of follow-ups this way. Always set a new follow-up. Now, really quick, I'm going to talk to you about this really fast, and then we'll do Q&A. So if you guys have questions, I see there's already a couple in the queue. Put your questions in the Q&A queue, and I'll answer them all at the end. So real quick on this, the fortune's in the follow-up, right? As my kids would say, duh, you've heard this. But I want you guys to understand something. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up, 80%. So if you're following up 3 or 4 times and you're feeling good about it, you're wasting 80% of the opportunities out there. 80%. You need to follow up more. So I just want to talk to you about this. How many of you guys are concerned about following up 10 times because you think you'll be annoying and people will cross the street when you're coming towards them? Okay, good. There's some good honest hands popping up. First off, I want you to take those hands down because I have another question for you. How many of you are in this business because you truly, sincerely feel like you can help people and that's what you want to do? Let me see your hands. Okay, great. Just about everybody. You're my people. Look, I'm just going to say something controversial because I know you want to help people. But for most people, your product is irrelevant. The product you represent, as great as it is, doesn't matter. Why? Because they are not buying it. If 80% of them will not buy your product unless you followed up 7 to 10 times, for those people, your product isn't helping them at all, is it? See, it doesn't matter how great your product is. What matters is your ability to follow up. Your follow-up is how you help them. Does this make sense? This is why my mantra is this: following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. I want you to write that down, put it somewhere where you see it every day, and remind yourself following up is an act of love. This is how I love people in my business, is by not giving up on them and following up more. Now, I'm going to teach you how to follow up without being annoying right now, real quick before we go, because I can't just leave you on that, because I don't want you annoying people. I'll teach you how to do it so it's not annoying. Okay. But you can just use my scripts and Teamzy to follow up. They're already based on the principles I'm going to teach you right now. But here's what I want you guys to understand. When somebody says, yes, I'm interested, 20% of them will make their purchase within 3 days, right? And the rest will take much longer. Have you guys noticed this? The rest might take a year. They might take 3 months. They take longer. Even though they're like, yeah, I'm ready. Then they don't do it. You're like, what the heck? You just need to know this, okay? And so you just need to keep following up with them, because what will happen is most people won't respond at all to your follow-ups. You'll send them a nice follow-up. They'll be like, oh, that was nice, but they're busy at that moment. They're just not going to respond. You'll send them another one, nothing. You'll send them another one, nothing. Now you're starting to freak out. Oh my gosh, why aren't they responding? Maybe I'll respond. Maybe I'll follow up one more time. Nothing. Now you're taking them off your list. You're like, forget them. They're wasting my time. Or you start creating stories about why they're not following up. Here's what I want you guys to understand. Most people aren't answering follow-ups till maybe 6, 7 in. They don't respond the first time. You'll get nothing but crickets. How many of you guys have had somebody you thought was awesome and then nothing but crickets? It's normal. It's normal. Okay, it's normal. So the key to follow-up that works is you just need to be present with people in a caring way that's not annoying, because people will take a while before they finally come back and say, I'm so sorry that I haven't responded. Thanks for staying in touch. And now you can start the conversation again. Okay. So let me teach you the 2 principles that if you do this, you could follow up with people forever and they're going to thank you for it. They're going to think you're awesome. Honestly, I can't even tell you how many people literally sent me the words, you're so awesome, in a response when I've on my 12th or 13th follow-up. Why? Because I followed these 2 principles. The first principle is this: when following up, don't ask anything of them. Okay? Because if they're busy, that's annoying. Don't ask them to even respond. They don't need to respond. They don't need to call. They don't need to do anything. Don't ask anything of them. Okay? The second thing is your follow-up, they need to be able to read your follow-up without opening it. So let me just say that again, because there's a couple of instructions built into that. They need to be able to read your follow-up without opening it, which means no voice messages, no video messages. Now you can send somebody a video of you singing happy birthday on their birthday, fine. But when you're following up specifically, like you told them they would, no video messages, no voice messages, because they are quite annoying when you can't listen to them because you're busy at the moment, right? Most people won't even open your messages because they don't want you to think they're a jerk when they don't respond. Okay, this is why your messages need to be able to be read without being opened. What they will do, though, is they will look at their phone and they will look at the lock screen, because we're obsessed with our phones, and they will read your message without opening it. Okay, so that's why it's short enough that they can read the whole thing. Now, if you write them a book and they can't see it without opening it, and now they're like, oh, shoot, I have to open it. I don't want to because I don't want to look like a jerk. Does this make sense? So follow those principles. Don't ask anything of them. Make sure they can read it on the lock screen of their phone, and they will always get your follow-up message. They'll see it. And that keeps you top of mind through the process over time, over time, over time, over time, over time. And everyone else gives up on people after 3 or 4. But you said, no, I'm going to follow up. I'm going to help you. I care about you, right? And so now you're proving it. And over time, you're proving it, you're proving it, you're proving it. They will almost always thank you for it. Thank you so much for being consistent. I really appreciate you following up. This is awesome. You know, my life's been crazy, but now I'm ready to talk. And here's what happens, you guys. You use Teamzy to start staying in touch with everybody. Just spreading a little sunshine and love on people, right? Having real conversations with people over time, letting them know about what you're doing and why you're passionate about it, so they all have a good understanding of the mission you're on. Right? And as they cycle through, that relationship grows, that relationship grows. Some people will be interested every single week. Those people you'll share with and put on that follow-ups list. Every month, people will come off that follow-ups list. They will convert. Some people will convert right away. Some people will convert down the road. And you just go through your follow-ups list, the second half of your power hour every day. Whoever's due, send them the next message. That's it. That's it. 30 to 45 minutes a day. An hour, let's call it your power hour, because power 45 minutes doesn't sound good. An hour a day to make a huge impact in people's lives in a consistent and systemized way so that nobody ever falls through the cracks. One of the things people will respect most about you is your consistency. They're going to think you're amazing. They're going to think you're organized. People think that of me all the time. What a joke. Sorry, I'm blurry. Camera doesn't want to see me. There we go. It's amazing how organized you can be if you have a system. Does this make sense? Okay, so the last bit here, I'm just going to show you how to finish Jay off. I'm going to go to her record real quick. Let's say I've been following up for a while, and she has now bought her distributor kit, and she's joined my team. How do I do that in Teamzy? So I've gone to her record. I'm going to click on sale, and I'm just going to choose the appropriate thing, distributor kit in this case, and click save. Okay, that just lets Teamzy know it's a business metric. All that connecting. Now we've got a sale, and then I will tag her product. So whatever the product is, I'll put a tag there so I know exactly what she's using. And then I'll go to here to member type, and from prospect, I'll click on distributor. If she just got a retail product, I'd click on customer. Okay. I'll click on distributor and then personally sponsored. And that moves her now to my team and Teamzy to the correct group. And it also helps me track things like distributors I've recruited, right? Sales that I've made. Okay, cool. All right. That's how you do it, you guys. I know there's a lot more I could show you, and there's a help center in Teamzy that has tutorials and trainings. You can get in there and go a little deeper, but I wanted you guys to know how you could crush a power hour every day and start creating momentum in your business. Now, I'm going to start looking at the questions and see what questions you guys have asked. I know some of you put it in the chat, so let me go to that real quick. Kaffion, did I say that right? She says, for the connecting with prospects one and et cetera, what is the follow-up time period? Okay, good. And I explained this early on, and you might have missed it, Kaffion, but you don't have to set a follow-up for connecting. You do not set follow-ups for connecting. Teamzy automatically cycles them back in front of you. 5-star people every 30 days, 4-star people every 60 days, 3-star people every 90 days, 2-star people every 120 days. All you have to do is set the star ranking, rate them on the 5-star scale, and they'll automatically come back in front of you. You do not need to set follow-ups with people you are just connecting with, okay? You'll set follow-up when you have actually shared your product and they're interested and you're like, hey, I'll follow up tomorrow. That's when you set a follow-up. Okay. How do we do a share? And I showed that later on in the call. You saw that. Okay, great. How often do we follow up? Great. We talked about that too. Okay. Dave says I have 400 customers and Teamzy recommends I contact 5 a day. Should I be doing more as it will take a long time to reach everybody this way? So what's 400 divided by 20? You're still connecting with everybody pretty, yeah, that's fine. You're not going to want to talk to Dave. You're not going to want to talk to everybody every single month. You're not going to have that many 5-star customers. So even if you're talking to people every other month, you'll go through that. Yeah, you don't need to make it bigger. You're fine. Just stick with that. I don't know how consistent you are right now, Dave, but honestly, like just getting consistent of 5 a day, if you could do that for a month, it's going to change everything in your business. So you don't have to go big. This isn't a go big or go home, guys. This is a get consistent. Just get consistent, doing a little bit a day. I'm just going to tell you guys a quick story before I jump to the Q&A. Do we have anything in the Q&A? I thought I saw stuff in the Q&A. Got no questions in the Q&A. Okay, great. If you have questions, put them in the Q&A. That's where I'll pick them up, okay? Oh, there's 2 now. They just popped in. Okay, just a quick story on this. When I was getting ready to marry my wife, Lisa, a good friend of mine and our pastor, Will, he took me on a hike. We went on a hike, and it was part of kind of like getting me ready to be a good husband type thing. And we went up to the top of this mountain where you could see all of San Diego. And we're sitting up there. And he says, hey, I want to talk to you a little about marriage. I said, great, that's why I'm here. He says, marriage is not a lifetime commitment. I want you to understand that right now, Eric. It's not a lifetime commitment. My jaw drops. What do you mean? He goes, because when you think, oh, I'm committing to this woman for life, you give yourself permission to not, you give yourself permission, like you think there's time for me to be a good husband. He goes, marriage is a daily commitment. It's every day. He goes, you just need to focus on today. Today, I will be the best husband I am. Because if it's 20 years, you've got time to get there. It's just today. Today is the day. And what I found, I thought it was so amazing. You know, it was such an amazing insight. And I've realized it's true for anything you want to be successful in. You want to be successful in business, you have to just be the best you can be today. You don't need to go big. You just need to get consistent. Get a power hour. If your goal is to connect with, 15 people a day, total, great. Just do the 15 and you're done. Okay. Just do it again tomorrow. Tomorrow, wake up and recommit, if that makes sense. All right, let's take some messages. Latoya says, how do you get the list of names? I've tried setting up Facebook contacts, but it wouldn't download in. Okay, there's FAQs in Teamzy Help Center for this, Latoya, but there's one problem people run into the most, and it's probably the same problem you're running into. When you download your list from Facebook, it's a zip folder. Okay, so what you need to do is unzip that folder. And most computers, you can just double click it and unzip it. Once you've done that, now you can get to the file that's inside that has your friends list. Okay, but here's what I want you to know: if you're like, I have no idea what he's talking about, just send a message to Teamzy Help Team. There's a button that says Help on the bottom of the screen in Teamzy that you can just click on, and it opens up a little window. You can attach that file to it and say, can you put this in my Teamzy account? And they'll do it for you tomorrow, no problem. Okay, so if you run into problems, just ask us for help. We'll do it for you. Don't spend too much time struggling. How do I remove the current follow-ups done on the connects? Okay, so let me just show you something here. This is from Kathion again. Okay, so if I'm gonna do a follow-up, when I complete a follow-up, so if I come in, if somebody has a follow-up scheduled, I thought I had a follow-up scheduled with Jay. Okay, I guess not. If I have a follow-up scheduled, let me just schedule one real quick, so you have an idea. Let's follow up in 2 weeks with her. Gobbledygook, log it. So now I've set a follow-up with her. So when I have a follow-up scheduled, right? So here's one scheduled with Katie. When I complete this connect, it will clear that follow-up. Okay, so when you complete the connect, it clears the follow-up, which is why I told you that you want to hit follow-up again before you complete your connect, because otherwise they'll fall off the follow-ups list. Now, but if you want to just clear that follow-up, like you don't want to do it after all, what you can do is you can go to her record, and I can get there by looking her up, or you can click on her name right here in the box and it takes me to her record. And over here, what I can do is I can just right here where it says follow-up due, you can just change it to none, and that takes her off the follow-ups list. Okay. Hopefully that was what you were asking. I think it was. All right, let's see here. Ina says, time different zone. Does Teamzy keep this? For example, New Zealand, UK. I would not want them to receive early hours, morning, but okay. So you set your own time zone in Teamzy when you set it up. Now, depending on where you were when you logged into Teamzy, Teamzy will have set the time zone based on your location at that moment. If that's not actually where you are, you can go into settings and change the time zone. So that's the time zone in Teamzy. Now, Teamzy doesn't send the messages, you do. So you can determine when you send people messages, okay? But I will tell you that I often did my power hour at 4 a.m. And I had maybe 2 people ask me why I messaged them at 4 p.m. in the 2 years I was doing it. Like most people just wake up and your message is there. And if they ask, you just say, I just tell them, I was up early and I was thinking of you. Thought I'd say hi. I figured you'd get the message when you woke up. That's all. I wouldn't overthink it. You do your power when you can get it in. Okay. Amy, can you go over? And here's the thing too. I don't know if you're in the UK, or if you're in New Zealand, or if you're in Australia. I've got lots of friends there too. And I don't spend a lot of time thinking about the time zone. I just message them. They get it when they get it, and then they respond. It might take me 3 days to have a conversation with someone in Australia, but we get it done. We figure it out. Okay. Amy says, can you go over the rating scale again? What should I rate my new leads in the business? So your new leads will come in, Amy, by default as a 3-star, and that's the appropriate place to put them. Let me show you the ratings. Look, I'm going to click on this see this little question mark? That shows you the ranking system. So you guys can look this up on your own. 5 stars, these are your hottest people, someone you feel is most likely to join the team, your best friends, your favorite people. 5-star people, they come back every 30 days, okay? 4-star people, they're a little bit warmer, but maybe not as hot. They show up every 60 days. Every 60 days. 3-star people, again, this is where your new leads are probably going to be. You're going to talk to them every 90 days, unless it's somebody that has a lot of trust. Now, you're going to talk to them right away, and if there's not interest, then you just put them on the 90-day cycle. They automatically cycle back every 90 days. Does this make sense? Okay, great. Here's what I want you guys to understand about leads. It's a new way to think about it. I don't want you to think of new leads as people who might be buying or joining your team. I want you to think of them as new relationships. New relationships. Okay? Because when you meet somebody who might or might not be interested, but now you have a relationship to build, that's worth way more than one customer or one recruit to the team. You might get 100 out of that relationship. They could become an advocate for you. So you want to look at relationships, put them into this relationship building system and build relationships with them. Okay. Build trust with them, serve them, have some fun doing it. And you will create a lot of customers, but more importantly, you'll create advocates. Okay. Ina says, repeat what you mean, make your focus small. If you want your business big, you got to make your focus small. It's great to set big goals, but you got to be focused on what you need to get done today. Okay. I know that, like, my goal was 4,200 and something people I have to connect with. Look, I just know it's 19 a day. Today, I need to connect with 19 people. I need to send those messages. So you keep your focus small. What do you need to get done today? And just keep your focus on that, and you'll get the big goals achieved. That's what I mean by that. If you want to lose 100 pounds, you need to work. You need to improve small amounts, small ways of your nutrition, and do 30 minutes of physical movement a day. That's how you lose 100 pounds, right? You don't lose 100 pounds by doing something massive. You lose 100 pounds by doing something small consistently. Okay. Dave says, I have a lot of connections on LinkedIn. What filter should I use for new prospects? Okay. So if you're bringing people in from LinkedIn, you can import that whole list and just tag them as LinkedIn. So that's easy to do. And what filter should I use? I'm guessing you're asking me the stars. Again, new prospects, 3 stars. Okay. Ina's in Perth. Awesome. Cool. Beautiful place. About as far away as you can get from me right now. Sam says, if someone is ranked 1 star, should you just delete them? So that's a good question, Sam. And so 1-star people, they don't actually cycle through your Teamzy dashboard. They're just kind of in storage, right? So the case for keeping a 1-star is if you want their contact info to look up at some point for some reason, if you want to be able to look them up, you have to keep their contact info in Teamzy. They're there, okay? If you have no interest in looking them up or keeping their contact info, then yeah, just delete them. You don't need to keep them. Probably won't have a lot of 1-star people in there, but it's kind of like, I think of it as like you're putting somebody in storage at 1 stars. Amy says, can you re-rank at any time? Yeah, you can re-rank at any time, and it's appropriate too. So you can change this at any time. But if you're on the dashboard too, Amy, like if I feel like I just talked to Calvin, oh my gosh, I just talked to him, I don't feel like I should message him again, then maybe he should be a 3-star, and I just change that, and he immediately goes back into the flow and doesn't come back for another 30 days. Okay. Which is great. Or I'm talking to Tracy and it's like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. I love her. I can make her a 5-star right now. Make sense? So you can change them as you go. Easy. Okay, great. Awesome. Dave says, I have thousands of connections. You're saying import all of them. Oh, I see what you're saying, Dave. It just depends on where you want to begin, and how, if it's going to overwhelm you to put them all in, then don't, maybe a piece at a time. I mean, it depends on what you've already put in. I never actually imported my LinkedIn. I had enough people on Facebook that I was cranking with just those. So, I think you can manage about, if you're consistently working a power hour in Teamzy 4 or 5 days a week, you can manage a list of 3,000 to 4,000 people, probably not more than that. Okay. So just keep that in mind. You want to cherry pick to get to maybe that number. So if 20,000 people, it's like, a good friend of mine who had been in the business a long time, she had a customer list, past and present, of over 9,000. And what she did was she got a virtual assistant that reached out and connected to all those customers on her behalf. That's how she managed it. So as time goes on, maybe you have somebody like that, and she called her customer care representative, and she said, customer care, this from Dave Morgan's team, customer care representative. And so when you get to that level where you're making a great income and that makes sense, maybe you could do something like that so you can still keep it personal. But The bottom line is you'll be able to manage, 3 or 4 thousand. So if you've got thousands and thousands and thousands, then you're going to want to narrow that down a little bit, if that makes sense. Okay, cool. All right, awesome, you guys. I see. Let me see. It looks like I got a couple things in the chat. Awesome training. Okay, great. I'm glad you liked it, Ina. That's beautiful. Okay, so great. So we've answered the questions. Hopefully that was very helpful to you. I hope that you guys got a lot of value. Let me give you some quick action steps, and then I'm going to bless you and send you on your way. So here's your action steps for the night. First one is go to teamzy.com and start your free trial if you're not already using it. Okay, make sure your team knows about the free trial. Oh my gosh, tell everybody. Also, if you're in your free trial, go ahead and set up your subscription so you don't miss a beat when it's over, right? Because it's just going to end if you don't, because we didn't ask for any payment info. There's a little link on the top left that has how many days left. You can click that and set it up. You won't actually be billed now. You'll be billed after your 30 days, but it'll be ready to go. Okay. The second action step is I really recommend you get a success partner to do this with, even for just 30 days. If you're in a trial, it's perfect. Do it for the 30-day trial. Maybe 2 success partners. Hold each other accountable. Share your goals. Look at, you guys are going to be like me. You're going to, oh, this is so cool. I'm going to log in. You log in twice and do nothing with it. With success partners, you get so much done because the accountability is there. And what I recommend you do is you take a little screenshot every day of your dashboard when you're done and you send it to your success partner or partners, okay? And they do the same. So when you've done nothing and you get those messages, oh my gosh, it's such a kick in the pants to go do something, right? And this is how you could turn that free trial month into the best month your business has ever had that way, okay? The last action step I'm going to give you is this. I give you a challenge. I'm challenging you to use Teamzy for 5 days in a row, okay? Use Teamzy for 5 days in a row and send out a message to over 100 people over those 5 days. That's 20 a day. Honestly, you could do that, right? Send the same message. I don't care. You can customize my little connect a little bit. I mean, I was sending people a message like, hey, I'm just checking in to see how you're doing. How are you guys handling the lockdown or self-isolation? Is everyone safe and healthy? Just a quick message. Send it to 100 people. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. The reason I'm challenging you to do this is because it's going to blow your mind. You're going to get such an incredible response. You won't be able to believe it. And you'll never be able to tell yourself those stories that are, frankly, they're BS, that nothing, I can't make anything happen. I tapped out my warm market. Oh my gosh, it's so slow. Are you kidding me? Network marketing had the best March it's had in over 5 years. Global pandemic, anybody? The best March network marketing has had in over 5 years. Tell me it's not true. Every single one of you probably are in different companies. And you're like, they're telling you about the numbers. It's a great time to connect with people and build relationships, you guys. So take my 5-day challenge. You guys in? Okay, great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope this was really helpful. Welcome to the Teamzy family. All right, we're excited to have you here and to be part of your success stories. God bless you all. Talk to you soon.